Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Thank you for being here with us tonight. I'm Whitney Ward. Seattle city officials are raising concerns after surprising video surfaced showing corrections employees releasing inmates near a homeless camp.
Advocates say an important part of the transition from jail to life outside is access to services, and this video, they fear, is not that. Michael Crow with our sister station in Seattle has more tonight.
Life on the outside should not begin under the interstate. That's the message from Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan. This began because of a video recorded at the James Street parking lot under I-5 downtown. In it, a Yakima County corrections officer is seen removing the handcuffs from 3 people who walk away. The lot is a hotspot for homeless who camp under the interstate. Durkan asked the State Department of Corrections why this happened. They say that these are not state employees, but Yakima County. DOC Director Steve Sinclair wrote, "We asked Yakima County why this was taking place. The Yakima County Jail reported that dropping off in a parking lot was not standard practice." Another spokesman for the department was surprised and concerned because standard operating procedure is to release people into the safety of a state or county facility with resources available. Yakima County's Department of Corrections says these people were originally from the west side of the state and were being returned after serving their time. Director Ed Campbell said, "We have had difficulty with one of our contract's drop-off points in Seattle getting individuals to the bus station due to complaints causing us to move drop-off locations. Based on a complaint our contract received last week from the Seattle City Council's office as part of the video taken, we were asked to change the drop-off location to a state office in King County, and we have done so." Mayor Durkan said she wants these people to have access to services so they don't move from jail into homelessness. She wrote, "Individuals should not simply be dropped on a street in Seattle, whether by the courthouse or under the freeway."
All right, to weather now. It was another day with high temperatures over 60 degrees with a few rain sprinkles mixed in there.
Just a couple, though. The big question now, of course, is what is in store for our big Easter weekend. So let's get straight to meteorologist Thomas Patrick for the answer. Hi, Thomas.
Hey there. Yeah, this weekend should be really great, but we're still dealing with some of the rain showers that you even see outside. Let's take this full screen, and you can still see that on the roadways. Oh, we'll get to that later. Well, on those roadways, still a little bit wet. That should be out of the way. There it is. Yeah, take a look at the road right in front of the skate ribbon. You can see some dampness on the roads because of some light rain that has overtaken the area. This weekend, however, promises to be much drier, save for a couple lingering showers tomorrow morning in the southeastern areas. Back to Doppler radar. Look at how widespread this rain is. Really has filled in into the evening hours and is not moving away very quickly, though the heaviest rainfall a little bit farther towards the south, towards the Lewiston area. You can see those yellow-orange shades. Those are some heavy rainfall pockets just coming off of the Blue Mountains. You go even farther south into northeast Oregon, and there's some lightning strikes with some of the showers there moving towards the Grangeville area. So yeah, there is still some heavy rain lingering, and actually we've got an update to our flood watch. That now continues until 5 p.m. on Saturday, as we can see some locally intense rainfall, not just tonight, but linger into the first half of the day tomorrow. So I'll explain when this rain is going to come to an end for each location of our viewing area. Those details in your full forecast a few minutes away.
Jess could make a pun out of anything, and he was loyal beyond belief, and he was funny. He was the funniest kid.
Canadian authorities are waiting on weather conditions to improve now before they can launch recovery efforts for 3 climbers presumed dead in an avalanche in Banff National Park. Among those climbers, Spokane native Jess Ross-Kelly.
His father and sister spoke to CBS News. KREM 2's Tim Pham has more from the family tonight.
Jess has deep roots in this community. He was raised here in the inland Northwest and attended Mount Spokane High School. He wrote on his website, "Balance is what I strive to accomplish with climbing, a balance of life, love, and mountains." His family says this is exactly what he did.
Jess was an absolutely great kid, 3-sport athlete, letterman in high school.
You know Jess Ross-Kelly for his accomplishments on the mountain. His family knows his passion for the outdoors began long ago.
He excelled in just about anything athletic, but he did.
John Ross-Kelly is a pioneer climber and former Spokane County Commissioner, but his #1 job has always been being a father.
I asked him if he wanted to go to Everest, and of course He did.
Together in 2003, the then 20-year-old became the youngest person to summit Mount Everest. Jess spent exactly half his life climbing. He says he lived and breathed it.
Sometimes I always feel over my head. There's plenty of times where I'm cold, hungry, tired.
This week, he set out to tackle Howes Peak, the nearly 11,000-foot summit, with two other professional mountaineers, David Lama and Hans Jorgauer.
They had all done climbs more difficult than this. It's just that they liked the looks of this route.
It's roughly a 4,000-foot ascent up vertical ice and rock. Roskeli says it's a challenge for only the most extreme climbers.
All three of them were really knowledgeable about avalanche conditions and dangers.
But the level 3 avalanche proved to be too much. Canadian authorities say the three climbers are presumed dead.
He loved the people around him so deeply.
Jess's sister Jordan says Jess has a big heart and cared about people above all, and they could always count on him to make them smile.
Jess could make a pun out of anything, and he was loyal beyond belief, and he was funny. He was the funniest kid.
While they wait for answers, the Roskeli family is leaning on each other and those who love Jess as much as they do.
We've had just an outpouring of people who care for him. And he has a beautiful wife who adores him as well. And so we're with her and doing the best we can.
Bad weather is keeping search and rescue teams from assessing the field of debris where the avalanche happened. Jordan says she and her family are planning to ski to the site tomorrow to help find the three climbers. In the studio, I'm Tim Pham, KREM 2 News.
Spokane Public School students are protesting in support of their teachers after the district announced more than 182 of them may lose their jobs.
This afternoon, North Central High School students marched through downtown in protest of the teacher cuts. North Central is one of the schools with the most teacher layoffs in the district. According to numbers just released from SPS, 6 North Central teachers will be out of a job by the end of this year. Students say they're not just protesting, though, for their own teachers, but all teachers throughout the district as well as their students.
The fact that they're also going that extra step and doing those extra miles to make sure that their teachers also can stay intact and make sure that everyone's aware of what's happening and that teachers are getting let off. I think that we can all say that's really admirable, and we really respect that they're doing that.
The school district says it bases layoff decisions strictly on seniority.
The Meade School District, meantime, is also facing cuts. They may close the small STEM high school River Point Academy to cut down on a $12 million deficit. The academy has 170 students, 13 staff members, including 8 teachers.
It's honestly a little bit scary because, you know, the place that I've kind of grown up with and the place that I've kind of made plans for the future with, it's going to be hard to move somewhere else.
Parents and students plan to attend the next 2 school board meetings to let the district know they don't want this to happen.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office is searching for whoever pointed a laser pointer at commercial airplanes trying to land last night at Spokane International Airport. 2
different pilots say they saw green lasers pointing at them as they landed. It is not the first time something like this has happened. The laser pointers can cause eye damage and make it difficult for pilots to see. This is file video, by the way. And their impacts on visibility are magnified when they hit a windshield. The sheriff's office says these incidents happen a couple of times a year. If the laser pointers target helicopters, it's a bit easier for crews to direct authorities on the ground to the person below responsible. It's much harder, they say, for crews on an airplane. Well, when he is not coaching the Cougs, you can find head football coach Mike Leach leading a lecture. For the last 5 weeks, Leach and former state senator Mike Baumgartner have been teaching a course called Insurgent Warfare and Football Strategy.
It's been a popular one, and the final installment was tonight. It was open to the public, and it was available on live stream. Our Casey Decker attended that class in Pullman tonight.
The instructors of the course were careful to say football is not war, but material is built around the parallels between guerrilla warfare and the football playbook. The 2 instructors playing off each other's expertise and personality, Baumgartner bringing the authority from his time in the Middle East, and Leach, of course, bringing his signature dry wit. The class worked basically like this. Baumgartner outlining a key element of insurgent warfare and how to counter it. Leach demonstrating how that form of strategic thinking applies to football. For instance, during the surge in Iraq, American military focused on constricting the insurgency's space, said Baumgartner. Then, Coach Leach used Cougar football film to show how his air raid offense gives opponents fewer options in space. Baumgartner talked about how insurgents are effectively underdogs and need to find ways to turn opponents' strengths into weaknesses. Leach said the same applies to football, and he threw his signature twist on it.
Make their strengths as useful as a bicycle is to a fish. You see fish in the water like everybody. All right, here we go.
Before tonight, only 40 WSU students were permitted in the course. Acceptance into the program was a big moment.
I woke up, I think it was like a Monday morning during spring break, saw that I got in, and that was like a jump out of bed kind of response.
And for many, learning from Leach and Baumgartner was the experience of a lifetime.
And I remember walking into the football ops building and sitting in the room, like there's just this energy in the air, and then Leach walks in, everyone goes silent. But in our minds, I think all of us are just like, oh my God, this is it, here we are, this is him.
I've learned so much just from like the short 4 weeks, and I feel like he really is like a mentor and someone to like look up to.
I didn't realize how much of the football strategy could be compared to all the historical aspects.
Above and beyond. Best thing to happen here.
This course is something Leach has been wanting to do for a while. He even wrote a book about Geronimo, a famous insurgent. So a lot of dreams fulfilled here tonight, both for the instructors as well as the students. Reporting from Pullman, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
Definitely a lucky bunch of students who got to partake in that first class. It makes me wonder if there will be more to come.
To a follow-up, right? And I'm kind of jealous. Like, I wish I would have got to take that class, right?
He is one of a kind.